What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Akil back with another live video. And today I'm going to be talking about what your next 5 moves as an entrepreneur should be. And if not necessarily what it should be, but basically how to plan out your next 5 steps. So what I'm going to do is just give you guys just a few just 5 tips on how to draft out your next 5 moves. But not only that, I'm going to go in and share some of what my next 5 moves will be in this next upcoming year in 2021. Because as you all know, for the new year, everybody's always so into New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. And myself, I'm not necessarily really big into New Year's resolutions. A lot of people would tell themselves they're gonna, join a gym, lose weight, and that's how I usually always equate New Year's resolutions. It's always those people that crowd the gym for the first 6 months or sometimes even 2 months of the year. The gym is usually crowded and then they usually waver off. But that's just like a small example. I think it's just better to kind of set yourself up to win. And I'll give you guys the 5 tips on how to actually set yourself up to win in order to make your next 5 moves successful. Now, I got the title Your Next 5 Moves from one of my favorite YouTubers. He's a fellow entrepreneur by the name of Patrick Bet David, and he's the founder of Value Telling. So basically, he wrote a book. I think it dropped over the summer. I think it was back in August that it dropped. And I didn't read the book yet. I'm still kind of combing through it. So I'm definitely going to give you guys somewhat of a review once I finish reading that book and kind of share some more gems from it as I kind of go on and learn more from it. But for now, I just kind of want to help give you guys some key points in order to go into the new year and kind of make it just a big win for all of us. So let's just jump straight into it. Now, number one, don't go into the new year with the same skill set. Now, this is going to be huge, and this is going to be one of those things that will definitely help propel us to the next level. You definitely can't go into the new year expecting something new and something different to happen if you haven't, gained any new skills, gained a larger network. You just have to go into the new year with a new skill set. So in terms of, since we're entrepreneurs, we're resellers here, I'll frame it specifically to reselling. So when I say that, you might simply need to improve, your shipping techniques. You might need to improve your sourcing techniques. You might need to improve, just your customer service, the way you store items. It's so many different ways that you can improve your skill set and go into the new year, just better and improved, at least with a better and improved mindset. So I think that's going to be, very, very crucial, very vital in order to, make 2021 a successful year, regardless of what goes on. I know people, with the virus and politics and all these different things, there's a lot of negativity out there that can kind of get you off of your pivot. But at the same time, there's certain things that we all can do in order to control our own destiny. So that's definitely something that I think a lot of us could do. For me, pertaining to this particular step, not going into the new year with the same skill set, for me, I'm definitely going to try to improve my shipping. I think everything that I mentioned is all going to be things I'm going to try to improve at least, 5% better every day. Every day I'm going to try to just get a little better. So what it is when it comes to shipping, even though I ship using Pirate Ship, and I tell you guys all the time, it's a really good platform. It's probably one of the cheapest options to go with. There's still ways to use that software and still save money using it. So I'll give you guys an example. Since Pirate Ship uses cubic rate shipping, what it does is that instead of the weight being a huge factor, the huge factor in terms of shipping is the length and the width. So sometimes what I would do is I was using the free postage boxes that we can all pick up from USPS. So you could order it online. You can get your free boxes and stuff there. And I was just putting everything in boxes that were just too large for the particular item. And sometimes you'd find yourself spending an extra $80, sometimes an extra $1.50 on an item if it was going to, say, from the West Coast to the East Coast, right? So for me, what I'm going to really try to hone in on this year is to try to save as much money on shipping, because I'm still going to be selling a ton of shoes, and the goal is to start selling more shoes that are brand new in the box. So I'm going to try to make sure that, the boxes that I'm using will be more cubic rate friendly in order for me to save money shipping out boxes, shipping out packages throughout the year. So I figure if I save, 80 cents to $1.20 on every single order, my profit margins, even if my overall revenue for the year remains the same, my profit would go up at least 15%, maybe even higher than that, because I'll be saving so much money on shipping. So that's definitely something that I'm going to be trying to go into the new year with, just a new skill set, a new mindset in that way. In terms of sourcing, as you guys know, I love going to Ross. I love going to Burlington and Marshalls and some of these other discount stores. But what I'm seeing is that just the outlets alone, cheaper than Ross and some of these other discount stores. So that's going to be something I'm going to really put a more of an emphasis on, in the sense of course, try to get my hands on as much inventory as possible, but really try to keep my buy costs low. So what that's going to entail is you guys are going to start seeing a lot more trips to these different outlets, whether it's Nike, Adidas, New Balance, all of these different outlets. But I'm also going to be going back to the thrift. I'm going to start doing more thrift store shopping in order to just keep my buy costs low. And not to say I completely stopped going to thrift stores, but since I moved from California to Arizona, the thrift stores are just too expensive. But there are some in certain areas that are more affordable, and I'm going to just start to take advantage of that, because you really never know what you would find in some of these thrift stores. So that's going to be something I'm going to be doubling down on. And last but not least, in terms of photos, I'm going to have a dedicated space in my new home now, solely for photos. So that's going to help me kind of increase my output and increase the overall workflow and make things a lot smoother and a lot easier and just overall more efficient. So that's definitely going to be something that'll take me to the next level. And of course, just help me save some more money and kind of buy back some of my time just by having designated spaces and designated workplaces within the home. So those are just a few things for me personally that I'm going to be trying to improve upon and creating new skill sets, improved skill sets for the new year. So everybody, you all should definitely be trying to just think of different ways on how you can improve your business, make it better for yourself. It could be as simple as, using coupons. It could be as simple as, packaging up items faster. You know what I mean? That way they can get to customers faster. You might simply just want to improve your customer service and, increase your response time. Because I know with eBay and Mercari and some of these other platforms, when buyers have questions, if you respond faster, it might give you a boost in search. And of course, if a buyer has a simple question, you respond faster to them, you can convert a sale. So it's stuff like that I'm definitely going to be putting more of an emphasis into for 2021. Now, the next big thing, in order to kind of map out your next 5 moves, what you're going to want to do, that one thing that will really help you map out your next 5 moves, even that much simpler and that much faster, is to cut the fat. And when I say cut the fat, that means cut the ties with toxic people and toxic habits. So I'll dive into that a little deeper. So we all know we all have vices. We all have different, just bad habits that we all carry. And it's some of those things that could be hindering us, whether it's professionally or, personally. But, we just do it just because it's a bad habit. It's something we're used to. But if you guys can just figure out, just some of the small things, be honest with yourself and just figure out some of the small things in order to cut the fat, you know what I mean? Cut the bad habits. There might be some people around you that's always super negative. They never have anything positive to say. They never add value to your life. Cut those people out. You know what I mean? That's going to be something that'll help you map out your next 5 moves that much faster, that much simpler, because you won't have, toxic negative energy kind of blocking, your mindset, blocking your focus. So that's going to be super, super important. The next thing is and this is something very, very, this is something I had to crack open. I wrote this one down because don't spend too much time focusing on the competition. And that's something that my wife and I, we used to make jokes all the time. When we lived in California, there was this guy, when I used to go thrifting, all he did was focus on the competition. And as a result, I found myself also doing that as well, where I was just always super competitive, going to the thrift every single day, trying to, be there, try to basically spend too much time there trying to grab up all the new racks and the new shoes that they put out. And I was always focusing so much on the competition, trying to just, be super, super competitive all the time. But what that does is that it takes away, you can, instead of focusing on the competition in a negative way, you can gain inspiration from your competition. You can learn from your competition. You can see the things that they're doing really well and just implement that into your business as well. So that's definitely going to be something that I've kind of, grew out of. I used to be, competitive to the point where it was kind of toxic, but I know I'm not the only one that was like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people out there can gain from that as well. So you definitely want to not spend too much time focusing on the competition. Focus on yourself, focus on your business, run your marathon, focus on your process and trust your journey. Because if somebody else is doing, really, really well and they're making tons of money, that's not helping you out. That's not going to bring you money. But if you pay attention to what they do and how they earn their money and what, the systems that they create, you can learn from them and replicate that same process. So we got a couple people in the chat. Shar was, you like that one? Okay, that's what's up. Season's greetings. Akil sending positive vibes to you and your wife. Listening as I cook. That's what's up. That's what's up. Getting that, preparing the Christmas meals. I am the movement. I use the competition to use some of their ways of selling or promoting to get more business. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's how you can, instead of, trying to compete and just trying to be, super aggressive, you can just actually learn from them, you know what I mean? And implement those same strategies into your business. So you definitely got it figured out. What's going on, middleman pick? I hope all is well with you. So next thing, you want to make sure that you need to ask yourself this question. Now, who do you want to recruit in your life? Now, for those of you that it can mean several different things. 2021, one of your next 5 moves could be building a team, a team of professionals around you. It could be building up a network. It could be building up, a staff. You have a staff underneath you to help you grow your business, or it could be on the personal side in terms of, who do you want to recruit? Do you want to recruit a wife, recruit a husband, recruit a boyfriend, girlfriend? All of those different types of, those types of things come to mind when I say you need to ask yourself who it is that you want to recruit in your life. Because what I've learned through this process of, purchasing the home and running the business and doing all these different things, the people that you have around you on a daily basis is going to be super, super crucial to, your overall trajectory in business. So the best thing for you to do is to recruit people in your life, whether that's people you can gain inspiration from, whether that's mentors, whether that's, people within your field that you can learn from. It's just super, super important, especially if you can find, a solid partner, whether boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever it is. If you can recruit somebody like that within your life, get somebody on your team, you can definitely take your business to the next level, because your life plan is always going to be very aligned with your business plan, right? So you definitely just want to keep that in mind. You always want to make sure that you're making strong, poignant decisions that will not only affect your business life and kind of take it to the next level, but will also, help your personal life as well. So next thing that you definitely want to do is not keep it a secret. You don't want to keep your next 5 moves a secret. Whatever your 5 moves are, you don't want to keep it a secret. Why do I say that? It's twofold. Some people, they will say, you don't want to tell people your business because people, negativity would kind of dampen it and would kind of, deter you a little bit. And that's one way to look at it. And I'm one of those people. I'm not going to say I'm secretive, but I do tend to keep things private. I keep things close to the chest, certain stuff. But at the same time, why I say it's important not to keep your next 5 moves a secret is because by you telling people your next 5 moves, even if it's your, a close friend or people within your network that you trust, close family that you trust, that's gonna help you remain accountable. That's gonna help you, just kind of keep you motivated, because by you telling other people, everybody's so accustomed to hearing people say, oh yeah, this year I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, or this year I'm gonna, start this business. And people have become so used to hearing people make goals that most of the time we'll just hear them say whatever they're going to do, but we already know they're not going to do it. But if you tell somebody, that you trust, and you, like, if, for instance, if I tell my wife, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this on YouTube, or I want to, do this outside of the business, she's going to remind me, she's going to hold me accountable. So you definitely just want to make sure that you're putting out, you're putting it out into the universe, whatever it is that you want. And, that accountability is going to be huge. That accountability is going to, keep you focused, keep you in the game, and not lose track of what it is that you want to succeed in. So now that I spoke about those 5 things, I'll just run through it really quickly one more time. Don't go into the new year with the same skill set. Cut the fat, cut the ties with toxic people and toxic habits. Don't spend too much time focusing on the competition. Ask yourself who it is that you want to recruit within your life, whether that's business partners, friends, family, networking, suppliers. And last but not least, you definitely don't want to keep it a secret. You want to put it out there, put it out in the universe, because as the saying go, and I say this all the time, a closed mouth does not get fed. So you definitely just got to put it out there within the universe. So now I'll jump in just a little bit in the sense of what some of my next 5 moves are, because I think it's just important to, like I told you before, put it out there, share your goals. A couple of my goals might inspire other people, or, my goals might change, and I'll, update you guys as we go. But I like to use YouTube as a platform where I can, hold myself accountable, and you guys can do that as well. So one of my next 5 moves is pay off debt. Yes, we just got this new home, so of course that's going to accrue, different, more debt, of course, because we didn't pay for the house cash. But I'm talking about personal debt, student loans and stuff like that. Any type of, thankfully I don't have credit card debt and those types of stuff, but mainly student loans. I want to get that done and over with, because like I said earlier, your life plan has a lot to do with your business plans. And for me, even though it's a lot of people can do, you can set up your credit where it's only for your business or it's only personal. You can definitely maneuver your credit differently depending on the type of business that you have set up. But for me, I want to make sure that, my debt is paid off. That way I can start to make bigger flips, bigger moves, get access to more capital. And by having access to more capital, you can just do bigger. You can just make bigger plays. I might start flipping cars, or I might start flipping houses, but until, I'm debt free, I'm always going to have, limits to what I can do, especially when it comes to personal debt and stuff like that. So that's going to be one big thing for me, in terms of my next 5 moves, just paying off debt. When it comes to student loans, I know for a fact I wasn't, I had no plans of paying off student loans. I'll be 100% honest. I have no plans of paying off student loans. But until we got through this process, and you realize that student loans is a thing. It's a lot of people. You can't just ignore it. You can't just say it doesn't exist or it's not important. Student loans can hinder you, and it's definitely hindering millennials as a whole from actually purchasing our first home, starting businesses, and they'll put you in a car any day. But in terms of doing things that actually matter, in terms of like real financial wealth and generational wealth and financial freedom, you definitely need to, be debt free. So that's going to be one thing for sure that I'm taking very, very serious. Roberta, I agree. I am the worst at promoting my business and telling people what I'm doing. I need to be more vocal and recruit someone to help me stay on track. And that's what it is. Like, I know for a fact I was really bad at that, and I probably am still bad at that. I don't tell everybody, I'm a reseller and I sell, shoes and stuff like that. But start by just, telling people within your network. Just let people know around you what it is that you do and what it is that you want, and how you can add value to their lives as well. And, it can be just a simple conversation that way, where, you're presenting it in a way where you're not trying to sell them anything, but you're letting them know like, hey, this is what I do. If there's an opportunity where we can help each other out, let me know. Simple as that. And that's also going to be something I'm going to be implementing for myself, because I know for years I wasn't, promoting my business as I should. So the next big thing in terms of one of my next 5 moves, and I'll get straight to it, get that real estate license. When we was first in California, I was gonna get my real estate license out there, but of course I had no intention of staying in the state of California because it was just too expensive. But now living in Arizona, the housing market it's definitely it's easier to actually attain property out here. So me purchasing my first home, we closed this week. By me doing that, by no means is that the end. So I know for a fact I'm trying to, acquire several properties within my lifetime, because it's one of the fastest ways for, people that don't have rich families. This is the fastest way for us to actually create generational wealth. So this is going to be, one of many properties, but the best way to save money in terms of purchasing homes is that if you're the agent, representing the home, you save 7, 10, depending on the amount of money, depending on the purchase price of the home, you can save yourself $10,000. You know what I mean? And just having access to the MLS, certain stuff like that is, even though it's going to be it's just going to be another investment. You know what I mean? It's just going to be another investment for me to, make my goals happen that much faster and that much easier. Just being within the game would kind of teach me more of the tricks of the trade. Next thing, buying back my time. That's going to be something that's going to be very, very big in terms of my next 5 moves. And the first way to do that is to start hiring a contractor, or hiring, a part-time employee to, do some of the smaller tasks so that I can focus on the bigger picture stuff. And when I say that, this can, for those of you that are resellers and you have tons of experience where you might be using VAs and stuff like that, that's along the lines of what I'm talking about. Just having somebody that can, send me leads in terms of sourcing, and, direct me in the right direction when it comes to, sales and stuff like that, where I can, go to a certain store and, grab up some sales, or just somebody to handle the shipping. You know what I mean? But it's stuff like that where, I'm just trying to buy back my time within that sense, because it's super, super important to just, that's the one thing we can't buy. We can't buy time. So it's just about, valuing your own time and knowing what you can do with what you got. So, and last but not least, next 5 move is to purchase another house. Simply put, I know I mentioned, getting a real estate agent, becoming a real estate agent for selfish reasons, but that's going to be one of my next 5 moves, simply just to purchase another home, because the goal is to have at least 7 to 8 properties by the time I'm 35. So with that being said, got to get to work, got to make it happen, got to grind, and got to do what you got to do. So for me, just having those 5 moves all mapped out, like I said before, the tips I was telling you guys earlier, I just followed those tips and I was able to map out my next 5 moves that much easier, because I just put the thought process in to tell myself, okay, if my plan is to own more property, what's a smart way for me to actually save money along the way? And first thing was to actually become an agent, get your license. That way you can have access to the MLS. You can meet some of the right people that can steer you in the right direction and go from there. So you're going to have to do some soul searching in order to really get to the bottom of what it is that what you want your next 5 moves to be. But make sure that it's attainable, it's realistic, and put a time frame to it. You know what I mean? Whether that's 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, put a time frame to it. And like I said earlier, share it with somebody that you trust, mainly just so that you can, remain accountable. Because once you have these really big goals, or these next 5 power plays that you want to make, life happens along the way, so it can kind of steer you off track. But, by telling people your goals and sharing it with people you trust, it'll kind of hold you more accountable. Let's see. I like to move in silence. Outside thoughts and opinions tend to distract me. Rather keep it to myself and show them. Yeah, I agree. So it's not for everybody. Everybody's not gonna, want to share everything like that. But, if you just, write it down, keep a journal, and that way you can hold yourself accountable that way. You don't necessarily have to tell people. And when I say don't keep it a secret, you write it down, you post it on your wall, you post it on your mirror, and that way, it's a constant reminder. But we'll jump into some questions. If you guys got any eBay related questions, Poshmark related questions, entrepreneur based questions, definitely go ahead and drop that in the chat. I know it's Christmas Eve and I'm not going to be on here for too long, probably stay another 10 minutes or so, depending on the amount of questions and the amount of engagement. But I just wanted to be here and kind of provide some value right before the holidays, because as you guys know, my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 31, and I just wanted to put out some more content, put out some more value for you guys. That way we can all focus on, what we're going to do for the new year and kind of move into that direction with some momentum. Because I think that's super important. Momentum is just super, super underrated. People think, it's not a real thing, but momentum is 100% real. And I say this all the time, work gets work. So if you literally put in some work here and say your plan was to list 20 listings today, you get those 20 done. Then all of a sudden, now you're making some sales. Now you're making some more money. Now you're able to put that money back into the business, and then you're going to grow from there. So it's one of those things where, work gets work. The more you do, the more will come back to you. And that's why I just decided, let me hop on here real quick. I know, it's Christmas Eve, but I know somebody could use this message. You know what I mean? Let's see. Oh, we got the happy birthdays dropping in. That's what's up. Thank you very much. 31, having fun. You're awesome. So proud of you. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Gotta feel okay. That's what's up. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Thank you very much. Thanks for the content and consistency. Thank you. Yes, my birthday is on Christmas Day. Back in the day, your boy used to get the double gifts all the time. Now, the only people that give me double gifts is my wife. Everybody else just send me a text. But when I was young, Christmas and having your birthday on Christmas and, having your birthday on Christmas, you would get 2 gifts. You would be the man. But you get older and, things change. Thank God I got a wife that cares. Thanks for the content and consistency. Happy early birthday. Thank you very much. So yeah, like I said, if you guys got any questions, I know one thing that I wanted to talk about outside of, your next 5 moves is the post office, man. The post office has been, I don't know what's going on. I've never experienced, well, first off, usually for my birthday, I always travel somewhere. So I'm usually not here. So this is my first time for Q4 being here from December, the end of December, shipping this close to Christmas. And of course, due to the pandemic, shipping was already kind of thrown off. But I think due to the influx of people, doing online shopping, the post office just wasn't prepared to kind of handle this influx. So I've had so many returns and cases being open, all because people didn't receive their items on time. So that's one thing that, hopefully eBay offers some seller protection, because I even got some negative feedback lately, and I never get negative feedback. I used to pride myself on that. And of course, people aren't receiving their items. So, negative feedback is going to come. So hopefully, eBay can offer some protection for our sellers. Drop a comment if you guys are experiencing the same thing, because for me, I know that this year it's inspiring me to to just continue taking trips, or just shutting things down in the middle of December. That way, I won't be a part of this rush, because for the past 3 years, this is going to be 4 years in February, but prior to now, I was always out of town for my birthday around Christmas. So it's one of those things where I might implement that strategy next year. Even if I'm here, even if I'm not out of town, I might just, have a cutoff time, December 15th or December, 20th or whatever, where I'm not shipping out packages anymore, because this rush was really, really hectic. And thankfully, people are starting to receive their stuff. I'm getting emails from eBay. People that opened up cases, I'm getting emails from people saying that, they actually did receive it finally. But it's been definitely very, very tough. Let's see. I agree on the momentum. I want to move into new with tags palettes, but I'm so scared of if anyone can offer advice on that. It would be awesome. So new with tags palettes, if you're talking about clothing, it's a lot of different websites out there that you can use. I don't know a ton of them off the top of my head, but you literally can just use Google and just type in, brand new wholesale palettes, and it's not going to be within the first maybe 10 pages. Excuse me. But the more you dig, the more you keep searching, the more you keep running your Googles, you will definitely come across some reputable places. And the thing with palettes, I was going to get into this right before we actually got our offer accepted on a house. So my I guess my business strategy kind of shifted just when I was going to get into wholesale. But one thing that I realized with wholesale is that if you want to do clothing, it's very, very easy. It's very, when I say easy, it's easier to find brand new with tags clothing than it is to find, brand new electronics wholesale or stuff like that. The clothing industry is it's just so much of it that you can get your hands on. So just know that it's possible. Just know that it's out there, and you just gotta, do the work. You were the best present to your mother could ever get for Christmas. That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I'm on the verge of getting a canceled order because of the post office. Yes, it's a lot of us. It's a lot of us dealing with it. They're not even scanning some of these items. They're literally um they're literally just holding some of these packages. I spoke to a couple people from the post office, and they've told me that there's thousands of packages that's just sitting in these different stations, these different shipping stations, and they're just sitting there. They didn't even scan them or anything. So hopefully, you know, hopefully this is going to help us out a little bit, in the sense of if eBay can, hopefully eBay can help us out a little bit. You know what I mean? In the sense of knowing that these delays are, all across the country. It's not our fault, but I don't know. You'll see. You'll see how eBay handles this. But if they don't, you just gotta move on and keep it moving, keep it pushing. I'm an older woman, and you motivate me so much. Thank you. That's what's up. That's what's up. I have 2 packages I shipped early. They will not get it for Christmas. Yeah, it was people that ordered from me in the top of December, and they still didn't receive their stuff yet. So it's tough. Definitely is tough right now. And yes, even if I did scan, it's been a nightmare. Yeah, and that's the thing. Even when they do scan them, so that the buyer knows that the item has been scanned, and the buy it's in the post office. Once it's scanned, it's still just sitting there. Sometimes I've had some items that was sitting in the post office from the beginning of December, and it's just been sitting there, and it's no longer moving. So that's definitely going to be something that hopefully they can kind of get back on top of it, because I went to the post office today to drop off the stuff that sold, and there were no lines there. So hopefully now they can actually get back on track. Yes, eBay is removing bad feedbacks due to USPS delays. Okay, I got one bad one, so hopefully they can. I got 2 now, but hopefully they can remove that one for me. Let's see. There's a shortage of workers at the post office. Also, because of the pandemic, many are out sick. We have to be patient. So many postal workers are overwhelmed. I believe it. One of my best friends was working in the post office, and he did it for about a year. And he left shortly after the holiday season because he said it was just, this was last year. This was pre-COVID, and he was definitely overwhelmed and stressed out. And it was so bad that he would try to call out sick, because he literally was sick, and they would say, "Nah, you still have to come in. You gotta figure it out. You know who else is gonna run your route? Who else is gonna work your route?" So I definitely understand how overwhelmed they can be. In addition to reduction to staff due to COVID positives, overtime was cut, scanners were removed, and tons of new businesses first year shipping. It's not the carriers or the movers, it's the distribution. Oh, wow. The scanners don't work. Tons of mail in trailers waiting for processing. I have stuff out since 12/2. Wow. Just like me, top of December. Yeah, so it's definitely a very layered problem that we're dealing with right now. But like I said, it's one of those things where I usually always try to, allocate funds to, per items that may have gotten lost, buyers that are trying to scam me. You always try to allocate some funds just for, cost of business. But this is at an all-time high. I've never had, close to 10 people saying that, they didn't receive an item, and, sending me messages, where's the package? Did I even ship it? Because some items, they're not even scanning it. So it looks like if I never shipped the item out. So it's definitely tough. But like I said, we're gonna get through it. It's always, that's the beauty of business. It's always gonna be something that will make us have to make a pivot, something that might stress us out for 1 week, and then next week we ain't even thinking about it because we already adapted to it. So that's how I treat it. I know sometimes I'll be pissed off and I'll be screaming, but at the same time, next week you ain't even thinking about it no more. So you just gotta move on. But seeing that there's no other questions in the chat, that's all I got for today. If you guys, I'll probably drop a couple other videos before the year is out, but this might be the last live show of 2020. So no, let me check the calendar. I think we still have another Thursday in the year. So so I'll be back New Year's Eve. I'll drop probably an earlier live show for New Year's Eve. That way I can go out in 2020 with a bang. Definitely just want to thank everybody for all the love and the support, because throughout this whole journey of purchasing this home, I was definitely very, very stressed out. And once I dropped the news that we closed and we got the keys, it was just an influx of love and support. So I just want to thank you guys again, that you guys know I really do appreciate it. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next